Welcome back to Awakening to Your Story TV, the place to learn, get inspired, and be supported with heart centered solutions for your everyday life. I'm your host, Alicia Hartzell, and today we're going to continue talking about emotional tools. We are going to be looking at volume and information and how utilizing the volume and information that comes into your life really gives you back so much of your power. Now, as always, this video is linked to a blog over at awakeningtoyourstory.com, and I will put the links that I talk about today, including that blog, in the description below. All right, let's get started. Now, understanding and figuring out how to use emotional volume really creates a huge shift in your life, because what it does is it helps you really take ownership for what is coming into your space, and that gives you the ability to shift your perspective when it comes to that negative information that comes into your life, to the negative emotions that we get swept up in, to those bullying thoughts that keep us belittled in our own mind, and that inner dialogue that we have that tends to knock us down, right? All of these negative things that either feel like they're coming in from the outside or that they are perpetrating our well-being from the inside out, right? It's all there designed to help us. And using volume and information, we can really start to create shifts for ourselves so that we can feel better. Now, when I talk about information, right, it's all just information. When I talk about information and I say it's all just information, I mean it's really all just information. Everything that comes into your life, every thought that you think, everything that you do, every expression that you have, every interaction and circumstance that you co-create with the world around you is useful information, right? When you can see information as something designed to help you, then you have the power to utilize the information coming in to help yourself, right? As long as you know how to read it. And this is where volume will help us. And we'll get to that in just a second. Now, when information comes into your life, it can be very neutral, right? As information comes in, we have things that we see and experience and create all day, every day, right? Some of that is very neutral. Some of it comes in and we don't think about it. It's all very just there, right? But then sometimes we have information that comes in and it creates either a negative emotional response or a positive emotional response. It bumps up against something within us that creates those or triggers those things for us to feel and experience, right? Now, your response to all the information that's coming into your life has to do with how your humanity has experienced the world around you so far, right? The information that filters in, it bumps up against those positive and limiting beliefs that we adopt about ourselves and about the world around us. Now, that information that comes in and is negative, right? That information that comes in and bumps up against a limiting belief or comes in and knocks us out of alignment or comes in and creates a negative emotion, often we don't stop and utilize that information. Instead, what we do is we take direction from the negative emotion. Instead of looking at it as information, we take that negative emotion and then we start to create beliefs about ourselves and about the world around us according to that negative experience. Now, when you start to utilize the information as information and you start to see it as such, what this does is it creates a little pause, right? It creates a moment where you become a witness to the things that are filtering into your life. And in doing that, You create autonomy over how you are affected by what's showing up. And that's really powerful. Now, in this pause, in this ability to witness, the great thing is that you can do the emotional work, right? You can show up and go, okay, who do I want to be? How do I want to feel? Where do I want to go from here? Is this negative emotion trying to tell me I'm out of alignment? Is this negative emotion trying to tell me I need to readjust my thinking, right? You have control over what's going on in your story. Now, this is where volume comes in because we don't always do that work. We don't always take that information and utilize it right away, right? When we instead take that information and just experience the emotion of it, sometimes we miss what the information is trying to show us. We don't see that we're out of alignment. We don't see that those limiting beliefs are starting to build up. We don't see that we are in a place where our thoughts are taking us down a path of thinking that is not going to serve our higher good or make us feel good in our life. So, volume comes in when those experiences, that information comes into your life, creates a negative experience. We don't necessarily pay attention. What happens is another experience that maybe has a similar vibe or similar feeling will come in. And all of a sudden, it'll feel a little bit louder. Oh, another negative thing, right? When the information starts to show up with more volume, things start to get a little louder. That negative experience starts to well up and it crescendos into oh, if you don't pay attention now, you feel so bad. If you don't pay attention now, things are going to get crazy. Oh my gosh, right? The emotional volume is there to help indicate to you that you need to pay attention. It's there to help you see where the information is trying to direct you. Because if you don't listen to the information, that negative response that you have to the information, you're going to miss out on your alignment. You're going to miss out on the things that you want to create that are outside of your capacity because of limiting beliefs. You're going to miss out on being able to think in a place aligned with the jellyfish beach or optimism or feeling a positive bias that you create in your life. What I want you to really understand is that when all of this negative emotion, when all these negative experiences come in that create that crescendoed volume, that volume is not a punishment. That volume is not the world out to get you. Now, I can see, and I have in the past felt that when I don't pay attention to the volume, those increasingly negative experiences feel like the world is out to get me, right? Feel like I am being punished for something, but that's not the case. It's there to serve your higher good. All of the information that comes into your life is there to serve your higher good, but you have to use it. And that volume is designed to help you create language, right? Sometimes negative emotion comes in, or you have a negative reaction to a neutral thing that comes in, and you don't have the right language for it. But by the second or third or fourth time that it comes in, your language around it gets a lot more clear. What you are not willing to tolerate becomes a lot more clear, right? So you have to use that volume as an indicator to figure out where you need to do your emotional work, where you need to show up and clean up your emotional heart space, right? Now, if you find yourself with loud volume and it's just about repatterning your thoughts, right? I want to direct you to the jellyfish beach tool and to the negative bias video. I'll link them here. If you're on your mobile device, they'll be in the description below. These tools will really help you shift so that you can lower the volume on your experience. Because the minute you start to do the work, the volume gets lowered. The negative information doesn't have to come in anymore, right? Information comes in and it won't bump up against that thing that's happening in your life, right? Now, if you're out of alignment and the volume is being raised because you're not in your boat, you're out of your boat, or you're floundering in somebody else's boat, or you're paddling really hard upstream, I want you to use that volume to go over to the kayak principle tool. I'll link it here as well, or it'll be in the description, and it'll help you do your adjustments to get you back into your place of alignment so the volume will go down, right? Now, if you find that there is a limiting belief that is standing in the way of what it is you really want, right? That information is coming in and bumping up against something that is limited, that has been handed down to you, or that you adopted along the way. I want you to go over to the video where we talk about how your emotional heart works. I'll link it here. Or you can download the free starter kit off my website, which will be in the description below. And you can really start to see the limiting beliefs for what they are and start to move through them and repattern them for yourself. Okay? Now, as you use the volume that's going on in your life, as you start to effectively see the information that's coming in, positive and negative, and you start using the negative information and the volume there to help you, what you'll find is it's all working together in your life, right? All the pieces are really coming together to help you have the life that you want, to experience the things that you want, and to feel the way you really want to feel, right? Now, remember, as the volume gets loud, you have the power to turn it down. You have the power to create those shifts for yourself. It's not a punishment. It's a tool designed to help you. And if you figure out that the volume is loud, but you can't decipher what it's trying to say, I'm here to help. I will meet you in the comments. Tell me what you're going through, and we will find that language together. It is going to be okay. You do not have to be ruled by the negative emotions that are coming in, whether it's inside your head or coming in from the outside. The information is designed to help you, right? So let me know if you have questions. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I want you to know that until next time, I am going to be holding a place of love for you, where you have the power to really lower that volume and live the life that you want.